Have you seen one of these push button covers? Check this out. Access to your start button? No access. Access? No access. Welcome back to another Jeff Reviews for you. And as you saw, we are looking at a push button start cover. How cool is that? You know what? Enough talk. Let's get right into this review. This is the original packaging to our push start button cover. There is no pull tab, so let's get our zip snip out and cut this thing open. Isn't that nice? Check out that rotary switch design. Pretty cool. I thought this was a real quick and easy install, like you just really use some double-sided sticky tape and put it on, but I noticed there's a mini screwdriver, some screws, and another piece that has screw holes, so maybe it's more involved than I thought. Let me check out the directions real fast to see what we do. I'm less nervous now. This is just a washer piece. If your push button is, I guess, too high where this won't fit on it on itself, so you don't actually have to use this if your push button is more recessed. All right, so there's a right way and a not a right way to install it. So make sure you have it so your screw holes are this way and you don't have those big gaps on the side. It should be smooth all the way around. I already put one screw in, but you're supposed to tighten down all 4 screws, and then you would actually utilize your sticker or the mounting tape to put around here and then hook right onto your car. So what we just did by putting that washer on is we gave ourselves some extra space. Therefore, if our button's in the way, now it should be clear. Under closer examination, this is not double-sided sticky tape. This is double-sided nano tape, that rubbery tape, which is awesome because that means it's gonna not be very difficult to take off. Let's do some quick measurements. As you can see, one side to the other, it's about 1 7/8 inches. If we have just the piece without the washer, you're just over 1/4 inch. And now if we put the washer on, you're right around 5/8 of an inch. I guess the most important measurement is the space there for you to actually push your button, and that's about 1 1/8 of an inch wide. I just went and checked my car, and I absolutely need the washer just because my button is more recessed in, and without the washer, it actually would not adhere. So I've screwed this in, so we're almost ready to go install it in the car. One thing I noted for my install is all but one screw tightened down. This screw on the top here, I could just keep spinning and spinning and spinning it. It doesn't seem to tighten down. Now, these other ones are holding it in tight, but for me, that's a little frustrating because, well, I hope it doesn't fall apart. Looks like it came with 3 sets of double-sided sticky rings. I'm excited about that. Just in case I do it wrong the first time, I at least have 2 backups. The directions tell us to go and clean around our push button. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use an alcohol wipe. It doesn't tell us, it just says clean it off. So I'm going to use an alcohol wipe. I'm also going to clean the back side of this with an alcohol wipe, let it dry, and then I'll install it. Our first step is to put on the adhesive around our actual push button. So I peeled off that big plastic and I want to try to get this on there as neat as I can all the way around. Once I got that on, I'm just going to push this all the way around, just hold it down around for about 30 seconds just to making sure it actually adheres. I found that it was easier just to use the button cover to hold down the adhesive. I'm really just going to be holding it here for about 30 to 60 seconds, but this way all of the adhesive is being pushed down at the same time. Now that we've held it on there for a minute, what we're going to do is we're going to just peel off this protective piece on the top. That way we can actually stick our cover on. As you can see, I was able to rip just a little bit of it there. Peel it off. Let's get our protective cover. Now I want to make sure this is upright and closed. There we go. Push and hold now for another 60 seconds. And really that's it. We are done. Check out our push button cover. How cool is that? So tell me, what are your thoughts of this push button start cover? Something you're looking at? Maybe now you are? Let me know down in the comment section below. I would love to hear from you. I did want to show that it does not impact you actually touching the button in there because it is a little bit further away now, but you can still access the button with no issues. I've noticed a couple times I've gone to open this and it's stuck. Like right now it's stuck in place right there. So I actually have to close it again to get it to recalibrate and such, but that does happen from time to time. I don't know if it's because I hit it here and then it jams, but I've noticed a few times that it has jammed trying to open it. I would have said that this is really just for fun and just something extra to have you don't really need, but I was reading through some of the comments that the company puts out and they say this can actually prevent accidental push start. If you have a toddler or a kid get in the car, they can't push it. Plus, if your button is cracked or dirty, now you can cover it. If you decide, well, you know what, this is just not for me, it can be removed. What I'd recommend doing is pulling it down from the top. Therefore, you're releasing the nano tape away from the push button cover and just peel this away. I just pull and stretch, and there you go. I will say that although it does fit on where your key goes, at least in my case, if I put my key in, it will not let me turn because my key is not in all the way. So using this over a keyed installation doesn't necessarily work. In this video, we were looking at a push button start cover, something that I saw on Instagram, and I just had to try it out. So what do we think of it? First things first, let's talk about that price point. Just under $20, in my opinion, was a great price for this item. As we unboxed it, directions were pretty simple to understand, although I did wish it told us to use some alcohol wipes or some other cleaner to make sure we get all those oils off of the surface, because that's how you make the sticky nano tape really adhere. I appreciate that they included the extra washer because just the original piece didn't fit for me, and they say with the washer now it fits 98% of vehicles that have that push button start. To me, that was pretty convenient. I was a little frustrated that one of the screws just seems stripped out, although it does hold into place. That one really worries me. I'm glad the other three aren't like that at all. If you were not a fan of the Transformer look, they have over 30 different types that you can choose from, and I thought that was really, really neat how there's a lot of variety. There's even just plain ones if you didn't want any picture at all. I was looking at some of the reviews on Amazon, and as per this review, there are well over 1,000 people that have tried this out, and for the most part, people really, really liked it, but there were quite a bit of negative reviews, and that's what I want to talk to right here. Because to be completely honest, their worry is also my worry, and that's, will this thing stay on over time? Some of the reviews said, man, within the first day, it just fell off, where others said a week or 2 weeks down the road, it just fell off. Some of the reviews mentioned 3M tape, and although mine was not a 3M tape, it's a nano tape, and maybe it'll be a little stickier, and maybe we'll have better results, I don't know. I also don't know how they cleaned theirs, or if they cleaned theirs, right? So I was very clear. I used alcohol to wipe around the plastic and also on the back of the push button start cover, making sure that it was completely clean. Then I let it dry, and that's when we put on the nano sticky tape. Also, I don't know what surface that they put theirs on, but if you notice the bezel around my push button, it is completely flat and smooth plastic. If you try to adhere any kind of tape to that grooved type of plastic that's mainly like dashboards or surround, this stuff does not stick to that over time at all. Something else that could be at play is the temperature, right? So one thing I know about nano tape is if you want to remove it, you need to use a hot air gun or a heat gun, and that helps to remove it. So in the summertime, cars can get really, really hot, and does that release the stickiness of the nano tape? Maybe, I don't know. That's something that we'll have to look at over time. And of course, I will leave updates in the description. As for me and my application, it held on really, really strong, and only time will tell how long. Like I said before, I'll leave updates down in the description. I do think this has a cool factor of 10, and if this is something that interests you, I will leave a link down in the description as well. This is Jeff with Jeff Reviews for You. As always, thanks for stopping by, and I hope you have a great day. If you have a traditional key to your car, all is not lost if you get one of these. This one I happen to have blocking off my hazards button. With it closed, you cannot accidentally hit it. I really do appreciate that you stayed around for my entire review where I installed this push button start cover. You know what? That was really cool. And throughout the video, I talked about nano tape. That's because I reviewed something called alien tape. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna link my review for alien tape right up here, and I would love it if you would click on this review. And when you do, by the magic of the internet, I'm gonna join you right here. So go ahead, click it. It's safe, I promise.